Apologizing. I think we'll start it right now, and Brogan will just show up whenever he shows up.
Okay.
I think he's pooping.
That's awesome.
Some of that pipe cleaner.
Brogan has he has the ability to rally puke more than anybody I've ever known ever in my life, right?
Dang.
Yeah, so you'll just be drinking with the guy, he'll disappear, and then you're like, where's Brogan? And then you knock on the door, and he's like, shut up, I'm puking.
And then he'll come back and
then
rally?
he'll come back and just rallies on for the rest of the night.
That's impressive.
I don't know if that's what he's doing today, because I don't think he's drank that much.
I just like to imagine it.
But
Yeah.
that's what he does a lot.
He does that a lot.
He does that a lot, right?
He does it a lot. I've known him for 25 years.
Yeah,
He
you've
does
known
that
him
a
way
lot.
longer than me.
I know. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that happens for that poor soul.
I have to adjust my mic.
Oh, is the mic
It's just dropping a little bit.
Why you limping, bro? Pipe cleaner?
Oh, pipe cleaner. Look at that.
He gave us...
Did you have those spicy tacos
Oh,
already?
Jesus. You really are limping. Oh, you touched your... Oh.
Oh, spicy hands on the cocktail weenie.
You can sit this one out if you need to. It's totally fine.
Welcome to the Grit City Podcast. I am Justin.
Brogan's injured. I'm Scott.
Oh, Brogan made it. Brogan, what's going on, man? Are you okay over there?
Boudreaux's pipe cleaner's on my pipe.
Yeah, so the last podcast, Brogan Ramsey over there cooked us a wonderful taco meal for Steve Dunkelberger and got super deep into that spicy pipe cleaner. Louisiana has an alligator.
Your mic is just dropping on him. Sorry. We're going to have to interrupt
All right,
for a
yeah.
second. I'll get you, man.
Oh, there we go.
Let's fix that.
Nope.
Nope.
We're flaccid.
That thing wants to be a flaccid. Oh, we'll just restart it on this one then.
Yep.
There we go. Maybe that'll do it.
What's going on over there?
Shut your mouth, Jeff. We're trying to fix the microphone.
I'm trying to live stream this stuff. You guys are playing around.
Yeah. Is it still? Is this
Yeah.
like droopy microphone?
It's all good.
Droopy mic.
I got droopy mic syndrome.
We can still hear you, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just hold it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it.
I think it'll
Just
be
leave it.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll work out.
Word.
All right.
Just slouch down a little bit like this.
I'm going to look really short on camera.
Hey, by the way, we're live streaming. It's gonna look a lot worse.
It's amazing.
Hey, we would be more professional if we had more patrons.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying, if you're tired of listening to this shit, send us some money.
This heavily edited segment of what just went down. We're trying to fix this sort of thing here. So yes, welcome to the Grit City Podcast. That thing is gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna let's get a different. I'll get a different one.
Yeah, just grab, or even maybe just scoot over.
We're just gonna have to start this all over again. aren't we?
Start all over. What?
Well, I'm gonna keep a lot of that pre-roll, but we'll get.
Oh, there's some good pre-roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're still live streaming too.
Is it staying right there like
I
that?
think we're okay.
I think we got it. I
Don't
think we
pick your
got
nose.
it. I think we
If
got it.
you guys are cool with this, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I think it'll have to deal with that.
Everybody's just gonna be okay with eating strips of steak. 'Cause I brought steak.
Yeah.
It's all skirt steak. Dude, I'm
Cool.
Fucking up
That's
all
perfect.
With my motherfucking hands.
There you go.
that's what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah. No, there's forks in the drawer.
Let me start it over again.
Yeah, dude, they have like full-on silverware and I think there's plates and shit. We just have to put 'em in the
Is that
dishwasher.
microphone off?
I'll make.
That one off. Thank you. There we go. And that lost a lot of echo. Perfect.
Fuck yeah, it did.
Okay, I think we're good.
Cool. Welcome to the Grit City Podcast. I am Justin.
am Crotch Caliente.
That is
mean Brogan.
Yep, Brogan Ramsey over there.
I'm Scott.
I'm Jeff.
Yeah, and again, welcome. We've got a wonderful show going on today. Brogan's going to be in the kitchen and out of the kitchen. He's going to be making some more stuff for us. And last week, he was kind enough to make us some very spicy tacos with Steve Dunkelberger. But then also had the super spicy pipe cleaner burn the hole into
His pipe cleaner.
into your pipe cleaner. And then Brogan ended up going to the bathroom and coming back because in extreme pain.
Did you touch your wiener, Brogan?
It burns.
Yeah, he did. I love it. And kind of an awkward way to introduce our next guest. But we've got Ejay O'Donnell with us. Ejay, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so welcome. Brogan is going to be cooking us some delectable treat, I'm sure.
Okay.
And that'll be a nice surprise as we're going along. If people want to get a hold of us, they can do so. info@gritcitypodcast.com. You can find us on social media just by going to gritcitypodcast.com and finding all of it there. Super easy to find us. Grit City Podcast across the way, except for the Twitter, which is grit_city.
Yeah, you can just search for Grit City.
How much have you been drinking, Scott?
Well, I have 2 open beers in front of me.
Congratulations.
Because I'm planning for the future. That's what I'm doing.
Heavily prepared.
Yeah.
And actually, EJ, how did you find out about us?
I actually came across you guys from Grit City Magazine. They posted.
Oh yeah.
They posted about you guys. They just did the interview, I think, last time.
Yeah.
And so, on my Tacoma, Washington Instagram page, it popped up, and I saw what you guys were doing. I listened to that episode. I was stoked.
And so you run the Instagram Tacoma_WA.
That's correct.
And over 22,000 followers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When did you start that? What made you decide that you want to start that?
It was about 6 years ago. Yeah, so it's been going. I didn't realize it was going for so long.
Yeah, it's usually kind of how that stuff kind of goes. You're like, oh, this will be a fun hobby, and then suddenly
that's it. And that's kind of what it was. So a friend of mine. What's funny about Tacoma is there's a lot of people that leave here to go to California.
Really?
Yeah, I have a ton of friends that have left Tacoma to go to SoCal because they wanted sun,
Oh,
water,
oh,
whatever.
yeah.
I would so our downloads. So we actually have more downloads in California than we do from Oregon.
No way.
Yeah, we do,
that's
and
crazy.
we have more downloads in the UK than we do from like Oregon, right? Like you would think that we would have more locally, but it's just not true. And I think Virginia, we get a lot from Virginia as well.
Virginia?
Yeah, I believe it from the military.
I was gonna say.
Don't forget about our Russian homies.
Oh yeah, we get quite a few website travelers from Russia.
Okay.
Apparently. I don't know.
Wow.
Hey,
That's a
was
Russian-
Riley
Yeah.
Dickens one of those people you were talking about that went to Southern California?
No, I don't know him.
You just dropping some names
just
now.
dropped- Dropping random names?
No, it's just because the universe brought him back into my hemisphere, and he went away, and he is a artist, and he makes high-end. He does all of so many different labels of bottles of beer. Art.
Oh,
sick.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
No.
It's a cool thing. Never mind.
So anyway, back to
So I had a friend that moved down to San Diego, and he started a San Diego page, and it
Okay.
just blew up. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I was like, I love Tacoma. There's nothing for him. No one shows Tacoma pride at all on Instagram right now. So
yeah.
I went for it and said Tacoma_WA, and it was
It
available.
worked and it happened.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
One of the things you can look up, I know a lot of the times I even search the Grit City hashtag.
Yep.
And because you can find all sorts of neat things that people are posting.
Yeah.
And I think most of them are for Tacoma, so I'm pretty cool with that.
Well, Tacoma is the gritcity.us.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's
Because
great.
we own it and we forwarded it.
Oh, there you go. That's perfect.
I like it.
But yes, it is the official U.S. Grit City.
So you started the Instagram page, and was it just like doing the shots that everyone does of like, Mount Rainier on some sort of backdrop, or how did you decide to go about it?
Well, I've seen pretty much every nook and cranny of the city for 2 different reasons. I was a graffiti artist since 1996, so I spent most of my middle school and high school years painting
Don't
graffiti.
say some shit that'll get you in trouble.
I have to be careful. I'm sure I'm good now at this point. I've been pretty removed from it for a while, but I've seen every square inch of the city. And then I was a garbage man for 2 years too, so I've seen every
okay.
back alley.
Oh, I want to ask so many garbage man questions right
Oh
now.
yeah, you're probably gonna get a couple
That's
of
fine.
them.
I can answer the best of my ability.
Sweet.
And so I've seen so many areas of Tacoma, and I've always loved Tacoma. I've been here since '87, and so I was like, let's just show everything. Like, there's a stigma because I've always worked in Seattle or Tukwila,
Yeah, absolutely.
and so there wasn't a place for me to work here. I have a career opportunity up there, right out of high school. That was pretty cool. But everyone's like, oh, just move to Seattle, move to Seattle. I'm like, no, I love Tacoma. I just want to stay here. It's a great place, and I wanted to showcase that. And so I would share some,
Yeah.
but then I was also sharing my own.
That was one of the interesting things that I grew up in University Place in Tacoma.
Cool. That's where I'm at now,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Brogan and I, we met playing nerdy games many, many years ago. And he lived out in Gig Harbor, and I was literally the only person who would come and pick him up. and we would go and we'd game out here.
You were a shitty friend.
I was a shitty friend because usually I'd pick him up and then leave him somewhere when I got really mad about whatever game that we were losing at.
You would
You're
drive
bad
from
at games.
here.
I'm better.
You would drive from here out to Gig Harbor to get him.
Gig Harbor or Purdy, depending on
Wow.
how deep to get him. Yeah, and come out and
You're really either really nice or you just really needed friends.
I
one of those
really
two.
needs friends, and
amazing.
we bonded over Magic the Gathering and a bunch of the stupid nerdy stuff, and we had our the old Nibbles and Bites that was right next to the Wendy's at the Tacoma Mall back in the day, and we would go and play there and have a lot of fun. And it would be living in Tacoma, you're having a lot of just dealing with all that stuff, and I totally forgot where I was going with that. So
Yeah, I don't know. Got you off track. Sorry.
It's all good.
but yeah, it's just like spending so you got here in 87.
87. Yep.
Was it because you don't seem that old of a guy? So as a
I'm
kid,
33.
okay, so you were a fairly young kid at that point.
I was 2.
Okay,
I was born in Spokane, and my parents met in Spokane.
okay.
They both.
My daughter lives in Spokane.
Oh,
I love
nice.
you, kid.
Dude, Spokane's pretty. I have nothing bad to say about Spokane. It's pretty legit over there.
There's some
I mean,
fun
I'm not
things over
moving
there.
back there anytime
there you
soon,
go.
but it's cool. My grandpa still lives in Newport, and
Nice.
so we go to the Ponderay.
So you're still Washingtonian through and through at that point.
100%. And so we moved over here, and when my parents lived all over the country when they were younger, and so when they both ended up in Spokane, they met. They had us young, but they said when we plant roots, we want to stay.
Nice.
And so we've been here since '87. I went to 3 schools. I went to Sherman, Truman, and Wilson.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. And so spending all that time here and like going from like junior high to high school, learning the topography of the land
Oh, yeah.
by way of graffiti. What was like looking at it back then, and even like in the 90s and the early 2000s up until this point, there has been a change, and
Yeah.
you've been able to be witness to that change.
Yep.
How has it changed for you, like visually and even just like through all of it, I guess?
Yeah, because I've seen Seattle grow so much too since I've worked up there for over a decade, and so here was always home. Like I felt like I could park front row anywhere. I go to Trader Joe's and park in the front. Like I didn't have to worry about paying for parking and stuff like that. I mean, it's definitely evolved with this UWT, which was kind of crazy. The Emerald Queen is like growing like crazy, but just I think everyone got used to the fact that it was a lot cheaper down here, and so it used to be really inexpensive to live here, and then over the last 10 years it's just gotten so much more expensive as time has gone on.
And it's one of those things because like I said, I grew up here and then I moved away.
Yep.
Found any other place to live, like in different cities, different states, and all of that, and eventually was able to come back to this area. Lived up in Linwood for a while, and then Seattle.
Yep.
And then I decided I wanted to make a concentrated effort to live back down here. Because it was more affordable than Seattle.
Yep.
But really only because I had a Seattle job.
Right.
Because now I can afford it because
And I couldn't afford. I tried to live in Seattle when I was like 19 for about 6 months. I ran out of money.
Yeah,
and came
yeah,
back.
yeah. I had a tiny apartment, and the reason why I wanted to move to Tacoma because for the exact same price, I could rent a house where I
Yes.
could have a barbecue and a cat. Like these are the only 2 things that I wanted. I wanted to be able to barbecue on my patio, and I wanted to have a pet.
Yep.
And there was
I gave you a really good deal on that house.
I know you did, and I was really happy for that because then I could get out of that area, which is not the best area, and then move to an area in Tacoma that I really enjoy, and I was able to actually buy my house because I was able to save up and be able to do that.
And now you have a barbecue area and a fire pit
And a fire pit and a bar.
and 2 cats.
See, that's because you moved to Tacoma.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like move to Tacoma, you can
Life
afford
is
a house.
much better now.
I always thought the city just embraced so many different type of people.
Yeah.
Where Seattle, it's just so big and so broad. It is attracting a lot of people. But Tacoma, you can actually get to know people.
Yeah.
And so even though the typography kind of changed here, it's like the people kind of remain the same. You know, there's people from all walks of life here, and it's so cool.
And it's one of those interesting things where they demand they want to be like not necessarily the same, but they want to kind of keep even when you're looking at stuff like the architecture.
For sure.
And when they elected Mayor Woodards, it was because she didn't want to change the business infrastructure.
Yes.
She wanted to cultivate it. And I know that we don't normally get political on all of this, but it's that sentiment that a lot of people have and a lot of people resonate with. It's like, this is ours. Don't come in and try to change it.
Exactly.
Try to be a part of it.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
And I've loved that. And that's why maybe I've always stayed here, is because I've always embraced that culture here versus it's too progressive and it gets all crazy up in King County. And so here it's like they've actually tried to get included in the communities versus the alternate, trying to change it versus actually grow it.
Have you? What's the community been like when you've been putting out the Instagram? Because with 22,000 followers, I have to imagine that there's a community in there and some like reactions back and forth with that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's cool. A lot of people embraced it. They loved it, actually. I mean, haven't paid any social, done anything like that. I've literally just been trying to stay consistent on posting and finding things that I liked about Tacoma and sharing it. And so many other people did the same. They're like, "Oh, thank you for just embracing Tacoma. We love Tacoma. It's not Seattle." It's and the biggest thing is it's taking hometown pride, because we always had it, but there was no outlet. No one was talking about it. We were in our little groups, and we love Tacoma. Then you talk to someone outside of Tacoma, they're like, "Oh, Tacoma stinks." I'm like, it really doesn't stink.
It's a neat place. Like
it really is.
It is a place where.
Fife.
Yeah. Fife is the
Fife
stinky
stinks.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fife is gross.
It is it's a place where like it's okay to get along with other people.
Yeah.
Is that weird to say? Like,
No.
It's okay in Tacoma when you're at a bar. It's a mix of people. You're never just surrounded by one type of people in Tacoma.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like Brogan and I have went to like the Silverstone. Do you remember that after
The Silverstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, after we went
the
to
ghost
Brandy's
hunt,
attic
right?
or something, yeah.
Dude, we were so freaked out after this ghost hunt. We went right across the street to the Silverstone and hung out. And Silverstone is a local, like normally gay place,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah, gay
normally
bar or whatever.
And like nobody, we had no problems there. Like we hung out, had a great time. It was a great time, and that's just how Tacoma is.
People
right?
just want to hang out
They
sort of
do.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too, be going to even like some of the local bars or the pub and grubs that they'll have on South Tacoma, the mountain. Straight up has the best chicken and JoJo's you will ever get for the
I'm gonna have to
cheapest
check that
price. Oh my god! But it's also they're super nice and like polite, and I'm not like going to be a dick or anything anyway.
sure.
But at that same point, it's like you don't. There's a gruff exterior to everything in Tacoma.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they call it the Grit City.
Right. But they'll let you in.
Yeah,
Like everybody's
yeah,
inclusive,
yeah.
but they're not wearing the "I'm inclusive" pin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I love it. I mean, it's
Nobody asks you what your pronoun is.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't really care. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like nobody cares what you call yourself.
yeah.
right?
You just be here, and as long as you're cool with everybody, it's gonna be fine.
right.
Yep.
It's a really fun kind of sort of thing with all of that. Now,
Rescue this, Justin. Rescue it. Hurry us.
what has, since you've been here for so long, you've got to have like some favorites. If someone's going to come to you and maybe it's a family member or somebody you know, and it's like, I need to go and get a Tacoma experience. Where's a place that you send them?
I could go two different ways.
Well, exactly. Like, it's going to be like I want the real Tacoma experience, or it's like I want to go check out something fun that I haven't been to normally, or people might not know about. What are some of the suggestions that you have?
I mean, first the 5 mile drive is always a good place to go.
Good call.
Yeah, because I think it's the second largest national park aside from Central Park. Is that right?
Central Park is the largest city park.
Whoa.
And then
Point
we're-
Defiance is the second largest.
Cool.
in
I'm
the
glad my
nation.
facts check out. Yeah. So
Nice.
and so I mean that's the first and foremost. So, like go see
Yeah.
Point Defiance Park. It's super cool. I mean you can run the trails. You can just drive, see Owen Beach. Like there's so many cool things just right down there on the water. So
Raccoons.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, what is that?
What's this thing?
You get the alligator foot.
Oh,
from
you got
hot
the
sauce.
alligator foot from the hot sauce.
I think that's real. Is
It's
that real?
It's an
I
actual.
think so. And if it
Yeah,
came
it-
out of the hot sauce, I'm gonna die.
No, it was hanging on the outside of the bottle.
Yeah,
of the hot
like
sauce.
on the last episode, if you listen to
Oh,
it, we
okay.
had this. That's the pipe cleaner keychain.
Oh,
It's
great.
from Louisiana. It's an actual alligator
gonna
paw.
die.
I love that he just threw the guy an alligator paw with no context. He's like, "Here, you get this."
Cool.
is
I
Brogan.
thought it was a token of appreciation. That's
It
what I
is.
thought.
It is. It's a warning for things to come.
Gosh.
I hope
Well,
you're good with spicy food.
we talked about that. Not really, but that's okay.
I won't do that to you. I'll make you a special
Thank you. Like a 1 star.
Yeah, there we go.
That'd be
There we go.
great.
1 star. But the Point Defiance Park is amazing.
Yep.
They've got the zoo and aquarium, which they've just revamped,
And
we need
really cool.
Yeah, we need to have our good old marine biologist friend over there.
We do need to have her back on.
And have her back on. Yeah. And but yeah, with the 5 mile, the
Yep.
5 mile is great. They've got the pagoda there, which is all of that. The 5 mile and the pagoda also haunted. If you don't know about this, Tacoma is like super hella haunted. Like
I don't know all the haunted stories.
Oh man.
Well, but besides the haunted stuff, there's also the beach. Owens Beach is
Oh,
right
yeah,
down
yeah,
there
yeah.
Yep.
at the same exact place. Like that place is beautiful.
It is. It
It
really
is.
is.
And it's one of those ones where when people say 5 mile drive, they're not necessarily sold on the name.
Right.
Like,
It's like,
oh,
why do I
we're-
just go drive for 5
Yeah,
miles?
we're gonna drive for 5 miles. But they've got little stops off so you can look over
Yeah.
the cliff sides, and it ends up at Fort Stillicum, which we did actually mention on the last podcast as well.
Which is super cool.
It is, and I didn't even realize it was still open because I knew that they moved all the Neverland stuff
Right.
out of the way, and I thought they just closed down that entire area.
No, it's just the Neverland area is gone, but the Fort Stillicum is still there.
So I've only seen the fort. So
Yeah.
I'm not. I've only been in the area about 5 years. So
Oh,
I've
sweet.
only seen
Welcome
the
to
fort.
Tacoma.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Right?
What's up?
And I take anybody, family, anybody that comes. We always do the 5 mile drive. I always take them to Point Defiance.
Yep.
We always go down, see the beach, right? Because it's a different kind of beach than you see at like a normal
Mm-hmm.
West Coast beach, right?
Right.
Always do the 5 mile drive. We always drive by there. And most people don't want to go see the fort. They're not super dorky like me. Right?
If you
Like,
go
oh,
in-
they're in costume.
If you go in though,
gives a fuck.
it's
They're
cool.
Like, get out of here.
It's cool to go in, but yeah, I haven't been in probably like 15 years.
Exactly. Yeah, most people, I went a couple of times, and my wife was even like, "Scott, this is too much."
Right.
Like, really.
That's tight.
So yeah, I like that stuff. But
There's-
yeah, you
there's a
you
lot
guys
of
are
fun
dead on.
history stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean, history. Like, yeah, some people are gonna be like, "Oh, history is boring," but at the same point,
Yeah,
also
dumb people, stupid dumb people. History's awesome.
exactly, totally.
Just kidding.
Yeah, Scott, good job there.
History's boring.
But there's a
You're
lot of
right.
fun like nature stuff that you can go
Yeah.
and check out. Like down the Titlow has the same the pagoda sort of thing as well, and they got the beach tavern.
Dude, almost
That's
any
good. I like the beach tavern. It's good.
almost any of the parks.
Yeah. It's
You-
been a while. They do.
If you're from the area, you kind of forget. But if you're not from the area, when you get to one of the parks, the parks here are so big that you can get back on them. Like you walk some of the trails, you hike back a little ways, you forget that you're even in a city.
Yeah, it's
Like,
true.
You might hear some traffic noise and see an airplane, but it's not like a city park in most places
Right.
where it's like a field of grass or whatever. Like these are legitimate. Like you can hike and there's animals on the trail and there's raccoons and fucking
Ooh,
bugs and
raccoons.
shit. Like there's real
Raccoons and
animals,
bugs.
man.
There's definitely a problem with the raccoons.
There are.
It's
like, It's a trip,
crazy.
dude. You don't really. If you're not from here, dude, raccoons are a thing, man.
I don't even like. It's funny because it's just like, yeah, there's raccoons, there's wildlife everywhere. Like this is things that happen. Like I understand that there are like animals.
Raccoons aren't everywhere, dude.
Raccoons
They're
are-
not.
I-
No, they're not.
Yeah, Brogan used to have. We used to have the bachelor pad down on the north side of Tacoma, and it was this giant like 3 or 4 bedroom house. And I remember at one house party that I got into it with a family of raccoons that were up in the tree talking shit. And well, I thought they were talking shit, and so I got into a fight with them with the hose. Everyone is yelling at me to stop antagonizing the raccoons, but I was like, I'm gonna win this shit. I just like raccoons are just a. I didn't even live there. No, it was your house, but it was still amazing, and it was a great party house. I just managed to get into a fight with the raccoons and then leave.
I actually got into a fight with a raccoon before too.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just going on a trail or something?
No.
Oh.
I was. It's a short story if you want me to tell it.
Yes, dude, please.
This was gosh, this is probably like 10, 15 years ago now at this point. A good friend of mine his parents lived on American Lake, and
Oh,
we would-
yeah.
and so we'd always go out there and have bonfires and all that stuff. And we were sitting around the fire. It had to have been like 2 a.m. And one of the guys that was there had his little dog running around the beach, and it was like a community beach. There was like 10, or I think there's 15 houses that all share like a communal thing.
All right, yeah.
And so we're sitting around the fire, and I'm like, yo, your dog is like running around. You probably should keep an eye on it. And he's like, nah, my dog's fine. 5 minutes later, the dog is squealing like crazy.
Oh, no.
And,
Raccoon's
so-
on its
and a
back.
raccoon is on the top of him. So my
Oh,
buddy,
riding raccoon.
so my buddy runs over, grabs, I don't know how he got the dog, but grabs the dog and starts running away. And mind you, we've been drinking all day. And so
Nuh-uh.
I freshly cracked a 16-ounce beer, and I see my friend running, and the raccoon chasing him, and I just crow hop and throw my beer as hard as I could, and I ended up hitting the raccoon square in the face and knocking it out.
Oh no.
With a beer.
Full beer.
It was crazy. The can actually like twisted.
Oh no, dude, you're getting hate emails.
I know.
after
Well,
this?
this is a long time ago. We did.
Doesn't matter, dude. Assault of a raccoon with a beer is
It was
probably
assault of a
something.
raccoon.
It was so crazy, and 5 minutes later he pops up and ran away. But still, like that's
Right, sure he did.
promise
Okay.
you, promise you.
You were eating raccoon that night. Don't lie to us.
It's the
dude.
fun and frivolity that
this-
you will have in Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah, so that was my raccoon story. I was trying to save my friend's life.
Yeah, right?
It was
I
pretty
know.
wild though.
You know what? You just even mentioning American Lake, I completely forgot about American
Yeah.
Lake. Like I haven't been there in I would say 2 decades easily.
Oh, man.
Lay that on people because people that aren't from here don't know, like me.
That's a beautiful lake.
Yeah, how
Giant
it-
lake in Lakewood, full of fucking dude bros in their boats, dirtling around in
dude
Lakewood.
broats.
In Lakewood?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's
American
just
Lake in
a-
Lakewood.
a lake in Lakewood that you can actually like people have like boat landings and you can take
What's
a boat.
the one that you said your stepdad used to try to drown
Oh,
you? Potato Lake or
Wapato.
something? There you go.
Wapato.
That's
yeah.
on the south end.
Yeah, that's on the south end. And Wapato, you can still swim there. They have a swimming
do.
area, I think.
I don't know if
They
that's
do.
recommended.
I don't know if it is either. They're cleaning it up, and it looks very beautiful. And they've got a nice little walk around
Yeah.
thing that we walk into.
They actually have a police station right there next to it.
yeah,
I've seen that.
and a
yeah.
bunch of Pokestops too. Not that I.
Oh, there is a Pokestop.
There's a couple
Okay,
of gyms there
good.
as well.
I love me some Pokey.
An amazing dog park as well, like an off-leash dog park that you could do that. But yeah, back in the day, so this was literally single digits for me. So like 30 plus years ago, my stepdad would take me to learn to swim at Wapato, which was literally just throwing me in the water.
That's
and
perfect.
then
That's the best
sitting
way
on
to
the
learn.
beach, drinking a beer, and just being like, "Don't do that," or "Do that," or "Don't drown."
Kick
and
harder.
yeah,
Kick harder.
yeah. And then just me being like, I hate this and crying. And so this is kind of how just all that ended.
I'm sorry I brought that
Yeah,
up.
great. Yeah, thanks for those memories.
That's the only lake I know that's close. So I don't know. I don't know about
Yeah,
this other
you
one.
couldn't
guys
even
are talking
call it. You
about.
couldn't call it anything. You called it a potato lake.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, Wapato, potato. It's kind of close. Jesus.
Well, that's what I think of every time I drive by and see the sign. I always think of it's
Potato
like,
Lake?
Yeah,
Potato
Washington potatoes.
Yeah.
I don't know why Wapato makes me think of that.
I have no
That's what
idea.
It sounds like it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Washington potatoes.
Wah potato.
Yeah. Anyway,
Perfect.
Next.
But you do spend a lot of time outdoor with your run club.
I do.
So
yeah.
tell me a little bit about your run club, and like the inception and why you decided to want to do that.
Yeah.
you seem like a super healthy kind of fit guy.
I try to.
Yeah.
Genetics caught up to me, or age
Oh,
caught up to me a little
genetics
bit.
are a bastard.
Couple years ago. It's interesting because I've always played soccer my entire life, and so I was always out doing something, being active. But when a career takes place and family takes place, before you know it, your health starts becoming a lesser priority. And so this time last year, I was over 200 pounds and couldn't even like walk upstairs without being a little
No
tired.
way.
Yeah, I just let it go for a couple years.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. I've lost about 25 pounds in the last
Good job, man.
full year.
Here's more meat.
Is
Get
it-
some more
yeah,
back.
I know. I need to
Dude,
carb up.
That's a big deal for people that don't realize because I
Yes.
lost a lot of weight in the past too.
Oh,
Not
congrats.
a ton, but like, 30, 40 pounds. Right?
That's a lot of
It
weight.
is a lot of weight,
Yeah.
but people don't realize it. So
Yeah.
good job, man.
Thank you. And so what it was is I've always I never made it a priority. It was just kind of one of those things. I'm like, oh, I can just eat what I want, do what I want, because I'm never going to gain the weight. And then all of a sudden you gain the weight, your mindset starts changing, you lose confidence and all this stuff. And so I realized I was putting so many other things priority over my own personal health. And it's like, well, if I'm not taking care of myself, then I can't take care of my family, my friends, my business, any of that.
Yep.
And so my brother-in-law actually was the one that kind of got me out. He's like, do you want to go running? I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's go running. I was like, I
Yeah.
need something to kick my ass a little bit. And so we went down to to Ruston Way, and it's flat. It's 5 mile turn time or whatever.
You know he didn't do that on purpose. It's your brother-in-law, right? He's like, I'm gonna take my sister's fucking husband on a run. Watch this.
What's-
Like, you want to go on a run, bitch? All right,
Yeah.
let's run.
What's
right?
What's funny is he's ex-Marine.
Of
like,
course he is.
but-
Oh
right?
shit! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
But what's even funnier is he was in our graffiti crew, and he ended
Oh.
up marrying my sister.
Oh.
It's all right. He's a good dude. He's a great dude. But he he's like,
Halfway through, he's like, let's do some push-ups.
pretty much. But he was in the same boat, and this is what kind of clicked. So he's like, let's go run. I'm like, okay, let's go run. And so we ran and we got done, and we're like, hey, I feel good.
It's good to have a partner, man.
And so my designer brain, my graffiti head brain was like, let's put a logo to this. And one of the things I really like to do is bring community together, and I think that kind of started sticking with the Tacoma, Washington page. It's like I can cast this net of getting people together and showing pride in whatever it is they're doing, whether it's a city or just a small community of friends. And so I was like, let's make a logo. And so I made this like 80s inspired logo. It's called it Tacoma Run Club. And there's other run clubs, but this one was very specific to just us kind of, I don't want to call it struggling, but we just needed something to motivate us a little bit more to go running. So I was like, cool, let's just run every Sunday now and see what happens. So I put it out on Instagram, my own personal one, and everyone's like, what's this about? I'm like, oh, it's just us trying to get our shit together. Like, do you want to come run with us too? And they're like, yeah, I'm trying to get my shit together too.
Nice.
And so it kind of started inspiring others to come out and run. And then what I realized, it wasn't really about the running. It was about like the process and getting everyone out of their ruts.
Yeah, and it's any sort of like community get together sort of thing. Like my wife does choir on Tuesdays,
Very cool.
and it's just it's the Tacoma Refugee Choir, and they just are like, hey, everyone go out, and if you just want to come and sing and hang out with people, it would be like anything, like any sort of going to church or just going to the neighborhood watch meetings that I do once a month. It's
That's
like
awesome.
I want to and it's a bunch of old people, so I'm trying to like get younger people
Right.
involved in it. And younger by me at being 40 is like, or like the
But that's
youngest
embracing
people
good
there.
change, though.
Yeah.
Because you got to have that perspective.
And it's trying to figure out because what is necessary in your community, in the local community, and I'm trying to go now to the Enact, which is the East Side Neighborhood
Yeah, I've heard of
Alliance
that.
for something or other. I don't know. It's a whole long thing, but it's people trying to do stuff within the community because, like, seriously, like if you look at the overarching world of what's going on, it's a veritable shithole of just like terrible is happening everywhere. And it's kind of it's daunting to look at all that stuff and being like, well, what can I do? And if it's doing something along these lines and you're helping out the people in your community at any base, then you can at least say, hey, I'm trying to do something, and hopefully it'll help my community, and hopefully that will reach out to other people.
Absolutely. And I've come across a lot of people that always want to change the world.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. That's very ambitious. And it's like, well, change should start with yourself, and then start with your family, and then your neighborhood, then your community, and then your city, and then like you
I got a 3-foot rule.
3-foot rule.
If it is within 3 feet of me, I can affect its change.
I like
should
that.
always try to do that for the better.
Oh, that's a
Whether
good
that's
call.
picking up garbage or just talking to somebody
Just being
that's
a
angry
good human
or
being.
expressing a good intention.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
If you can do that just in your 3 foot, like you can tell that guy 5 feet away to go fuck himself.
But not
But
at
if
3
he's-
feet.
But like if you're in that 3 foot radius, like that's you. That is your life. And if you just walk around, you're like a little Hoover vacuum cleaner of just good intention.
Yep.
And you just go around, and if that's all you can do, and that's all you probably should. If everybody
good,
did
though.
that, all of
Yeah.
a sudden we're a bunch of fucking negative energy Hoovers.
Right.
And
What-
then,
yeah.
and then at that point, it's like if you can do it at 3 feet, then you can start to work at 5 feet,
Right.
and then even farther and going on, and then eventually you're affecting 22,000 people on an Instagram page, or just driving people just to go running every day or every Sunday.
Yep.
So that means you ran and then showed up here.
I did. We ran this morning.
Where did you just run, like Ruston?
Yeah, we
Or-
started. Shout out to Brian at Anthem Coffee, by the way.
Nice,
So
yeah.
we started.
Okay, yeah.
Anthem Coffee at Point Ruston. Run down to McCarver and back. It's 5 miles, like on the dot. But what we do is we have a 3 mile, 4 mile, and 5 mile turnaround, and so it's embracing anybody that wants to come run. You can run 20 feet. I don't care.
Do you have a 1 mile turnaround?
Absolutely. I don't know where it's at currently, but
You can figure it out.
Yeah, just write Scott and an arrow there.
Yeah, it's that's perfect. The Scott turnaround.
There you go.
But yeah, it started out as something for myself because I needed something to go to get myself moving again and try to drop the weight, but also just create some clarity in my mind. And I realized there were so many other people that just needed a place like that to go. And so creating just positive influence by showing up every day or every Sunday to do it.
Yeah.
And people are like excited to come to it now. And a friend of mine, David, he took on a challenge. So we like to do challenges too. So I'm on the 100 push-ups a day for a 100-day challenge.
Ooh,
And-
how's that working out for you?
Awesome.
Good.
I actually like
good.
it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it seems very daunting when you say it like
yeah,
that.
it
though.
sounds-
How many
sounds
days in are you in right
60, I think 68
now? Oh, okay.
today.
So you're
Damn,
over
so
half
tomorrow's
then,
gonna be
too.
69.
Yeah, tomorrow. Today might be 69. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
But he just finished his 100 days of exercise. So exercise every day for 100 days.
Wow.
And today was his 100th day. So people came out and supported him, and
That is super cool.
yeah. So and he too was kind of in that same boat. He's like, I want to get back in shape, and it's like it's good for your mind state, and
It's a good thing to show, even if you're throwing it out there on like on social media and stuff
Yeah.
like that, because everyone sees like that best sort of life sort of thing, whatever. But it also shows that Tacoma isn't just for people who want to drink.
Correct.
Like Tacoma has a big, it has a big, I guess, stereotype of just being a big drinkers town.
Right.
And there's a lot of bars and there's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff to do, but you can do things that don't involve drinking. Or if you're not a person that wants to go to
Right.
the bars and do that sort of thing, there's plenty of stuff to do in Tacoma proper.
right. And I used to, I mean, I still drink like
Yeah.
socially, but not as often, especially when I'm focused on my health so much. I was like, I can't put those unnecessary calories in anymore
Yeah, right.
as much as I wanted to. But that was the easiest thing to get rid of out of my life. That wasn't either adding or multiplying my life, but it was like more subtracting and dividing kind of
Yep.
thing. And so I was like, I'll just knock this out and just drink socially or have a glass of wine, kind of
Yeah.
simmer it down
yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
But that, and I have two daughters now too. So the last thing I want to do is wake up hungover on a Saturday.
Oh,
Yep.
gosh, yeah,
It's, like,
right.
not going to happen.
Because they're going to be unrelenting when it comes to it.
They
anyway.
don't care if I'm
Yeah,
hungover.
exactly.
Like, and my wife's like, I don't care if you're hungover either.
Yeah, right.
Like, pull it together. So it's like I took that kind of thing out of my life a little bit, but I realized there's so many people that didn't want to go do that either.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, so I know someone like the run clubs will start at bars and stuff like that, which is it's still really cool because you're creating a community, but ours is non-alcohol related and more so about putting good things back into your body versus, bad. Not that I'm judging you drinking.
Yeah, whatever. I'm still gonna drink. It doesn't matter.
Just kidding.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. How many are you in now?
Yeah, I'm a couple in. Well, it's Sunday for me, and so I
Yeah.
run during the weekdays. All
That's
the
true,
weekdays,
yeah.
So,
yeah,
That's
yeah.
perfect. And
I walk miles and miles every day. So
And
I'm
I
just
like a
gonna
good beer,
just
though.
Keep talking about how much I drink.
Is that,
And- wait, no, walk. How much I walk.
How
That's
much
how
you
I
walk?
is that Stardust?
It
I got a
is.
fatty
See,
liver.
I like the Stardust. It's
We
good.
have some. Just saying.
I might tap into one.
I mean, you just ran, so
That's
you
true.
do
did,
carve
yeah,
up a
you're
little
right.
bit.
That's true.
Exactly. I wanted to talk about. This is just. I'm going to surprise you with this question, but what inspires you as a person in this town? What inspires you? I know it's a really
That is-
open-ended question,
But that's a good one. What inspires me is other people trying to grow.
Okay.
Like I have this, my kind of personal quote is the only person I should try to be better than is who I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this 1% growth. I've always kind of embraced a growth mindset, and watching other people kind of step out of their comfort zone and trying to grow inspires me to continue on.
Nice.
So, and I think that's what Tacoma's always had, like a stigma, right? Where
Oh, absolutely.
like you're from Tacoma, you can't be anything, or you have to leave to go do something. And it's like I wanted to kind of change that a little bit and say like, no, you can be something here. Because I know people that leave here and go be successful all the time, but how do you be successful here, whether it's personally, business wise, or whatever? So watching other people grow, especially in this city, and watching them evolve is probably the most inspiring to me.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice. What are you doing beyond just the Instagram page and the Run Club in Tacoma? Like, I don't know if you want to talk about what you're doing professionally or whatever.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough. So crazy story is, so as a graffiti artist, it's very much solo. I mean, we had a crew that we started back in '96 called Kids on Fire. And
Yeah.
so we just went all over the city. And so that was like my life for a long, long time. But once you turn 18 and realize there's real consequences to that, you kind of have to taper
Like,
back a
oh,
little
Yeah,
bit.
a little bit there.
jail and
Yeah,
stuff,
it's pretty real, and we got into some hairy situations, and realizing that was the future for me wasn't going to be through graffiti, but what I ended up doing is kind of guiding that graffiti to design, and so I'm just kind of in love with letters. Like I'm always dissecting logos on shirts, the Inspire thing right there. It's like I'm always looking at letters, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I like doing this, and so when I was 16. I got introduced to Daniel, who owns diecutstickers.com, but early on, it wasn't really a full-on company yet. He was like doing a lot of cool stuff, and he had this website that was making stickers, and his whole backstory is pretty cool too, that got him to that point. But I got introduced to him from a mutual friend that needed graffiti.
Okay,
And
yeah,
believe
yeah,
it or
yeah.
not, graffiti led me to my career opportunities.
Really?
So he needed
Nice.
graffiti for
That's
a
cool.
wakeboard premiere party, because that's what you used to do back in the days. And
Yeah.
you make DVDs and you had to premiere them.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
couldn't put them online. And so I drove up to Seattle. He had an office up there, and it was like my long lost brother. I literally was looking into like the 7-year older version of me.
Oh,
It was
nice.
super weird, and so we like connected right away.
Oh yeah.
And so I did graffiti for his office and also this premiere party, and then he's like, "Hey, do you want to weed some stickers for me, this and that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that sounds cool." And so I kept after high school, I would like drive up there and do some stuff, and I was hanging up there over the weekends, because at the time there wasn't a whole lot here in Tacoma that I was trying to like career wise. But my mom worked at UPS at the time.
Oh, nice.
And I could have gone to college for free.
Oh,
And I walked into
man.
school after school after school, and I realized that college wasn't for me. It was the weirdest sensation. I could walk into Cornish, and I was like, I love everything that's going on here, but I knew I didn't want to be there for like a school.
That was like I don't necessarily like the stationed learning, like you must
Right.
learn this thing right now. I'm always, and it comes from playing games all of my life. I try to gamify the system
Yeah.
to whereas what exactly do I need in order to pass certain classes, and then I'll just do that because I don't
Right.
like the school experience. I love learning about stuff that I
Same.
want to learn about. But yeah, with college, it's like, why?
And that was the same thing. It was putting me in a box a little bit. And as a graffiti artist, you wanted no box. You wanted
Absolutely.
0 boxes. You wanted to take your art to any place and any level that you possibly could. And so at the time, I skipped out on college. I didn't know why I skipped out on college because it was free, but something inside me said not to do it. I ended up getting a job up in Seattle at an international shipping company. And then Daniel and I started just kind of dabbling in the sticker thing a little bit more. And his grandpa actually pulled him aside at a family reunion and was like, "What are you doing with that sticker thing?" And he's like, "Nothing. We don't got any money for it. Nothing." And he's like, "What would it take?" He's like, "I don't know, like $3,000, $4,000 or something." He's like, "I'm going to send you a check then. I want you to pursue it."
Dude, that was like my grandparents were the ones that got me into my career.
That's
And it was my grandpa had unfortunately passed away, but he was one of those guys who had a pension back when you actually got a pension that would last forever.
What's that?
But he didn't squirrel it all away, but he saved a lot of it. So when he passed, he gave that all to my grandmother, and she was like, "Well, what do you want to do with your life?" And I was like, not be a security guard. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I've, like, Brogan and I have done security all around this area, from the Tacoma Dome Station to the Tacoma Road Center, which holds the Department of Assigned Counsel, which I've talked about a whole bunch and how creepy that place really is.
That's a fucking creepy place.
It is a
We
really
should talk
creepy
about
place.
that after we pay some bills.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we could do that. We could pay some bills, get a refill on our drinks.
Yeah.
and,
Tell everybody about Lindsay Jackman Group.
Oh, do we need to talk about the Lindsay
Well, I
Jackman
don't
group?
think we've talked about her for a minute.
We haven't. So
Hey, if you're
what's going
looking
on
to
with
buy
her?
a house, sell a house, maybe you just want to know about what your house might be worth or what your neighbor's house might be worth, you might want to swing by lindsayjackmangroup.com, swing by Lindsay Jackman on Facebook, swing by our website, anywhere. Lindsay Jackman's great, and she is the real estate to the stars here at Grit City Podcast. I bought a house, sold a house, all kinds of things with her, and you should too.
What's that website again?
lindsayjackmangroup.com.
Nice. That's
I-
perfect.
I hope.
Yeah.
If not, Google it. I mean, this is just like a spur of the moment reason to get people to eat their tacos.
Yep. Eating some tacos and having some fun on that one as well. And we'll have the links on all of on our
Brogan's
page as well.
imaginaryfoodtruck.com.
Brogan's Imaginary. No, it's Brogan Ramsey over there. Tell me,
Brogan Ramsey's foodtruck.com.
what did you do with these tacos this time?
Fucking eat it and find out.
I'm trying to eat it, but you're
They're
like
they're fajita tacos. They got
fajita
onion,
tacos.
They're really
onion,
good.
and well, yours is safe.
Safe.
Thank
What
you.
did you do to mine?
Hi.
I'm eating it. So now I'm eating it. So now you can tell me what
Your
I've
face
done.
turns bright red. I know why.
Oh God, I know, right?
Yeah, it's really good though.
That is kind of hot. You fucker.
Well, you nailed the 1 star. That's like perfect.
When Scott comes back, we'll start it back up with.
That's amazing.
49.
Just kidding. Just kidding, not kidding. I'm getting another beer, so I'm gonna get drunk in front of you.
Do it.
Healthy guy.
You just had a whole thing to go get another beer.
I noticed when you get halfway down is when you start refilling. It's
Yeah.
perfect. Actually, yeah, I need some more fat in my life. That'd be great.
Fatty liver.
I'll do a beer with you. Really? Yeah, I'll do a beer.
You don't have to. I don't want to make you feel like I'm forcing you.
Oh no,
You want a space?
I have choices tattooed on me for a reason.
So we have the space dust. We have split shot, which is an espresso milk stout, and then we have pineapple passion fruit.
Ooh, I'll do the space dust. Yeah, that sounds good.
There's still more tacos.
Oh yeah, and oh shit, before
What, Jeff?
Scott's known as Scott Peer Pressure Pace.
Yes, yes.
India Pale Ale with
That's my favorite beer of all time.
it's got red
Blood orange.
blood orange.
If you've never had
I'll give that a try. Yeah, I'll give that a try.
Nice.
that's my favorite beer of all time.
Okay.
less alcohol than
Oh yeah, space dust is pretty heavy.
Space Dust will. Yeah.
Oh, we actually used to be right by Georgetown Brewing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty much where I worked. Was in Georgetown for a long time.
I like that area.
Yeah,
It's kind of Tacoma.
I haven't been.
The one that they are in now, they've been in a couple years, is beautiful.
I haven't been up to Georgetown in like 2.5 years now.
You got a wife?
I do, yeah.
Take your wife on a date night
Okay.
to Georgetown,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
which sounds counterintuitive, but the hipsters
good, right?
have taken over Georgetown
and makes it
there's
beautiful.
A beautiful, legitimate, like Spanish from Spain Spanish restaurant there.
They brought in food
Dang,
and wonderful drinks.
Yeah, my favorite spot was Fonda La Katrina.
art.
Have you ever been there?
Still there.
Oh, that place is
Fucking shit.
that place is dynamite.
You just waiting for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off. I'm here all day.
I got shit to do.
But just right around the I mean that whole area right there.
Yeah,
I don't think this is
on Airport Way.
officially mine, but I'm gonna adjust it.
Yeah, it's been a
Okay,
while since I've been
matters.
out there. I might have to go check it out.
I do
What's it called?
It's called
Is this mine? Is this mine?
crazy Spanish name.
Okay.
You'll see it. It's right on the main.
Is that
Sweet.
yours?
I'll
Can you hear
definitely
me?
check it
I
out.
can hear you.
I can hear me too.
Can you hear you now?
I don't think I was there when we were up there.
I want to say it's like the fresh sardine or something.
Dang. Yeah,
fresh
God
sardine.
damn, you sound sexy, Scott. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Is it weird that I just listen to myself talk?
Yeah.
I
I'm just
love
gonna
it.
edit all this out.
Yeah, I've been there.
He took off his headphones because he gets tired.
I know because they're just talking
Well, I
about
can't
it.
hear. It's like I'm listening to you, but I don't listen to him.
All right, all right, all right, all right. All right,
Fuckers.
we're back. We're back. We're back.
All right.
All right, so we were gonna. I didn't. You did say that we were gonna leave off and talk more about ghost stories, but I don't want to talk about that anymore.
I want to talk about garbage shit.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you mentioned to us
That's
that
some interesting
you were a
nonsense
garbage
right
man.
Yes.
And so this means that we need the obligatory garbage stories.
I think we all have at least one question.
Yes.
So.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll answer all three.
Okay, so I'll start off with. I guess mine's gonna be the most boring question, but where did you pick up in Tacoma?
Oh,
Yeah, that was the
everywhere.
most
Oh, so
boring.
everywhere.
Literally, so it depends on what route that you were on. that
Okay.
day. So I was
Yeah,
just,
Justin, garbage men don't just work one day a week.
No, I
wish.
know that. Okay, but I figured maybe they had. Okay, never mind. So I
Whatever.
don't know anything about garbage men.
So
So,
depending on the
Boo.
day, like Mondays were like North End, Tuesdays
Okay.
were East Side. Then the other the alternate week Tuesdays were Northeast Tacoma. So you just kind of depended on what day it was.
okay. So follow up question to that then is.
Oh, now you get two? That's some bullshit.
It's follow up. It's a follow up. It's
Fuck.
the same
Part
question.
two.
Yeah, it's the part 2 about it. Which is the best area in terms of, like, I don't know. Like, I just imagine North End would be like the fancier area, but usually those people like would leave out the crappiest shit. Like, is it like? Was there
You're
like?
taking all the
You're
good
retarded.
questions,
I know,
dude.
right?
Quit
Yeah.
taking all the good questions.
Okay, fine. I'll
Like,
stop.
are you wondering whose garbage stinks worse?
Nah, I'm just. Yeah,
Then
maybe.
shut up and move on.
Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, so Brogan, now you ask your question.
You ever find a dead body in the garbage?
Oh.
No.
Do you know somebody that's found a dead body in the garbage?
No.
Then what is the coolest thing you found in the garbage?
The coolest.
That
thing.
was 3 questions. You guys
Yeah.
are all dicks.
Hey,
guys
you
are
know
just
what? I
fucking
cooked you
shitty
fucking
questions.
tacos.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shut
yeah.
up.
All right.
he gets a
They
pass.
were good.
I
so-
mean, unfortunately, you would find like dead animals quite a bit. Like
Yeah.
probably the weirdest dead thing was chopped off duck heads. It was kind of was super
Mhm.
weird. That was
People
a
eat
weird.
duck.
Like restaurant, I would assume.
It was.
Well, I guess
What
maybe
did-
just
what
a
did
house
you-
cooking stuff.
No, 'cause
I
you
guess
can buy
I
just,
wasn't,
like,
I
full
wasn't
duck at
very
them.
specific.
Oh.
What is the thing you brought home from the garbage?
Ooh,
We would-
that's a fucking
Man.
whole different question. You asking about dead things.
I mean, you're not.
and then now you're asking about bringing home shit.
Yeah, we're not good at these one question
No.
things, by the way.
That's okay. I got plenty of time. So
Oh, yeah.
we've.
And we canceled our next guy, so we're
you,
good.
You would be surprised what people would throw away. I brought home computers, like golf clubs,
Golf clubs, nice.
like money. People would, like
What?
gold. I mean, people.
Sometimes I throw away money just for fun.
I don't know if
I'm
they
like,
meant
fuck
to.
it, I got too many
Jewelry.
extra ones.
Like literally, so people would just maybe they're cleaning out their garage and just throw a bunch of stuff away,
and they're just not
and
paying any attention to it.
You dump it out in the hopper, and then you look. You're like, oh, looks like a little safe box. You pop it open. There's jewelry and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Wow.
So we used to. It was crazy, but
Now, do you have to split it with the driver?
the drivers have full control of whatever they want. Us as the labor, we're like, we would get whatever they didn't want to take over. I mean,
oh yeah.
So you
The
hop in the cab
hierarchy.
and you're like, hey, I found this back here.
pretty much.
And then he's like, well, I'm going to take that. You're my bitch.
And then you're
No,
like,
it's
well,
not
I'm glad I pocketed a whole bunch of the other stuff before I showed you the tithe.
So what you're saying is the driver is in control, and then the laborer, that's like bottom tier. That's like a surf system.
We were doing all the hard work. We were on the back of the trucks throwing all the garbage.
So
They were just
were you
driving
trying to work up to being a driver?
around. No, it was a temp job. I enjoyed it. It was actually really fun. My neighbor happened to be a supervisor there, and so she's like,
I think it's kind of a neat idea. Like,
it's pretty fun actually.
It's something that everybody should try once, kind of thing.
You'd never realize.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Fuck-
until you look
fuck
through
doing
someone's
that
garbage,
stuff in
it's
China
crazy.
where
You
you
get to
s-
know people real quick.
you got to serve 2 years in the army. Fuck that. You got to serve 2 years as a garbage man.
Oh,
You know how much we
that's a
would
great
fucking-
idea.
It
You know how
was-
much
City
recycling would get
councilman.
done? Yeah.
Brogan.
Yeah.
That's a great
Mr.
idea.
Adams.
It was fun.
Did you guys ever see the '80s movie with Emilio Estevez and
Men at
Charlie
Work?
Sheen?
Men at
Yeah,
Work.
yeah.
Dude, you just
We-
hit
the
a nerve
reason-
for all of us.
The reason I
I
owned a
want to be a
BB
garbage
gun.
man because
We would wear bandanas and overalls all the time. Like we thought we were those guys once in a while. It was pretty ridiculous.
I have a legitimate, terrible garbage man story.
Uh-oh.
So back in the day when I was very young, my mother had a tarantula named Harry. I don't know how it was spelled, but either or would work. 1 year, our thermostat went out in our duplex, and so we had to go stay at my grandmother's.
Okay.
Grandmother was not about to have a tarantula, even in its aquarium, coming to
No.
the house. Harry had to stay. When we came back after a week, Harry was frozen. So, as you have a dead tarantula, you're figuring out how to get rid of this tarantula. The trash.
Yeah, why not?
She was at least polite enough to put it under stuff, but I still have to imagine that you're upturning a trash can
Oh, yeah.
into a bin, and then suddenly this was not a small spider. I mean, I was like 5 or 6 at the time. So it was.
I never heard this story before.
You didn't know about Harry? So I just have to imagine, because it was big to me. It's still a sizable spider that just ended up in the trash.
Oh yeah, people tried to bury stuff all the time like it wasn't going to be seen, but
And
someone's going to see it.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you saw. You just kind of like, yeah, whatever. But I mean, it's been a long time since I've done the garbage at
So
this
much
point.
porno magazine.
All right,
So
so my
many.
question.
So many.
So tips, best tip, or
best-
tips ever.
Did you get tips or like presents or like? I know some people
'Cause
try to do
I
that.
like to tip my garbage people, and I used to take beer and put beer out on top.
The drivers would definitely, because they had fixed routes, and so the drivers would have the same routes. They definitely would get
And an envelope of money right
Yeah.
there during
Yeah.
Christmas.
gift cards.
Do you do that, Justin?
No.
You fucking better start,
Okay, I
Mr. I am a
will.
neighborhood watch guy.
I guess
People are
yeah.
gonna find out where you live.
If you want to
Oh.
build
No.
community, tip your garbage man.
Okay, I
Yeah,
gotta
dude.
tip the garbage man. See,
Yeah.
or Tacoma's going through like this big, like they're freaking out about recycling right
yeah.
now.
I
Like, that's
saw the
big
article,
thing.
but I haven't looked into it yet.
Like this is gonna be probably past the due date, but by March 15th, they had a survey to fill out, get a $50 gift certificate, depending on what kind of recycling that you want or that you would pay for. And like that up end is like, do you want full service recycling? You're gonna have to spend more money.
right.
I'm
Okay,
like,
quick vote.
I'm like, yes,
Yes?
I would. Yes.
I
You?
would- oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I think right now in UP, I think I'm pretty sure I'm paying for recycle.
Yeah.
I
and-
like recycling
Yeah,
as well.
I pay for recycling, but I live in
Jeff?
a country club.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jeff.
Yes, we pay for recycling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I think
and
we're
I'm,
all
and
on
I'm
board.
more than happy to continue to
Fucking
pay for
liberals.
that.
You goddamn
I
liberals.
want to pay for recycling because I want to have this, like, we
That's
as a
close. Did you
as
see
a
that?
person who has
That's
as a person who has a bar in my own house, I have a lot of alcohol,
empty.
a lot of bottles, a lot of things that whenever we have a party, I need 2 bins for recycling for this. So I need recycling in my
Especially
life.
if I'm there.
Like I need that. Yeah, I need that curbside pickup because
Yeah.
of. Oh yeah, like I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not on mic anymore, dude.
but that's what's so cool about it is like everyone should play their part, whether or not like the whole city wants to do it, as long as you're doing your
Absolutely,
diligence,
yeah.
you know.
And that's well, just like we were going back and talking about like the 3-foot rule, essentially. Scott, now you're just being a dick
No, I
because
was
you're drinking.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you're
Sorry.
nice.
Now stop it. 3-foot rule. I'm with you.
Okay. EJ, like you've been able to do a bunch of different things, but talking about your die cut
yeah.
sticker job. So getting in with that, if people actually, because stickers are, I didn't necessarily expect them to be still as big as they are, but they
Huge.
are huge.
Yep.
And so if people want to, whatever business that they're doing, because Tacoma has a lot of people making their own way and trying to figure out their own thing and doing that, a good way to do that is actually stickers.
Yep.
And so people can contact you. What's the best way for people to be able to do that?
So our site is diecutstickers.com, and so you literally
Super simple.
go. I know it's like going to pizza.com.
Yeah, right.
So you go to the website, you pick your product, you pick your size, you pick your quantity, you pay for it, upload art, we proof it, we produce it, and ship it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple on that.
Yeah.
Is there anything along the lines of like, obviously you said that they're going to approve it. Is it like content approval or just like color, like going back and forth, that sort of thing?
We
And-
do screen some because you'd be surprised what people want to produce.
No,
And so-
I don't think I would be surprised.
So we're definitely driven on integrity and morals. So we'll shut some stuff down, and we have plenty of times. It's pretty wild what people think that they're
Stickers are a thing, though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I work at a tech company, kind of like as a contractor in Seattle, and everybody how they identify their computers is putting
with
stickers, on
and
them.
we do a ton in the
Yeah.
tech space.
Yeah,
ton in the tech
yeah,
space.
it's stupid. They have channels where they just ship stickers to each other.
Oh, I
like,
believe it.
around. Yeah,
I believe it.
It's
Really?
ridiculous. Yeah, dude.
There's a science to putting a sticker and the stickers in arrangement on your laptop. You gotta
Really?
make it, you gotta make it look cool.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it kind of goes along the same lines of, I mean, going back to the graffiti artist sort
Yeah.
of thing. There's God, I don't want to say feng shui, but it's like the
There-
wife's been doing a lot of that sort of
Yeah.
thing with, so that's in my vocabulary at this point in time. But there is that sort of thing that people want the different like locator, or not locators, but just like, I'm a fan of this, this, and this. And you want to make sure and find people that are the same sort of thing.
Yeah, you're
on those.
promoting things you really care about.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you had
Like
that
my
sticker-
beautiful Boba Fett sticker on my sports car.
Yep.
That's exactly it. So it's like if you have pride in that business or that thing, and you make a sticker about it and you put it on someone, it's like you're just kind of showing your pride.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So the big sticker here in Tacoma, we don't produce them, but the Keep Tacoma Feared
Yeah.
is always a good one. And I was like,
I
it's
love those.
true.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Do you do any stickers based around like Tacoma yourself, like just to kind of promote the Tacoma Washington Instagram?
Yeah, I've made like kind of rep your neighborhood stickers. So if you live in the south end, you can get south end stickers, north end
Nice.
stickers. But it's like super small, just kind of like if people want. Usually I give them out for free.
Do you have so what Tacoma stickers have you seen around? So the 253 heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen that.
I've
That's
seen that
Steve
one. Yeah,
Nacarado.
That's a
Yeah,
that's a
good
great
dude.
one. And of
Yep.
course Shroom Brothers, all the
yeah,
Shroom Brothers stuff,
like
right?
all the Shroom Brothers things.
Right.
They're so cool.
Do you have any that you've seen that have been like holy shit, that's a really good one? The Shroom Brothers are the ones that blew me away to begin with, right?
Here's
I
a
haven't
free
seen those
one
ones
that I
actually.
don't
Really,
think
with
Yeah.
the
exists that
Tacoma,
I want to see
it says
happen.
Tacoma, but it's like the bridge and like a octopus.
Maybe I
and-
have seen that. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's Shroom
It's
Brothers.
on
I
the
didn't
back
know
of
that.
Justin's.
Oh,
hoodie.
yeah.
My hoodie
Here, yeah, we show you.
We
real
should
quick.
we should just make sure and make the Shroom Brothers do stickers.
Yeah.
Here's one you can have for free that I don't
that
think
right there.
exists.
Oh, that's I actually have seen that. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was Shroom Brothers though. That's dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you know how
Sick.
there's the Keep Tacoma Feared sticker?
Yeah.
I would like to see Tacoma drinks, but I want want the drink to be green and look like it stinks, because people say Tacoma stinks.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
true.
a
That's
brilliant.
a good
dude.
one. That's a really
Hey,
good one.
That's twice from you in like an hour. Good
I know,
job,
I'm good
dude.
at this. I'm a branding
it.
master.
Bring
You
it.
can have that.
Hey,
man.
if you make me the graphic, I'll print them up for you.
Oh, Jeff
yeah.
makes
Done.
graphics. We
There you
got
go.
this. Yeah.
I love that everybody pointed at him right
Yeah,
there.
Hey,
everyone
you make the
points at
graphic,
Jeff.
I'll make you
Which
some
now
stickers.
Jeff has to put a Grit City logo in there somehow.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Figure that out, Jeff.
And we actually do a
Thanks, Jeff.
ton of podcast stickers too.
Really?
Because
All
the
right.
podcasting is still so early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but do you do good podcast stickers? That's the question. Not good stickers that are podcasts, but good stickers that are
For
for a good
podcasts?
podcast.
What?
Yeah, what I said.
Simmer down there.
So I don't know
Shut
all
your
of the
mouth.
ones that we do.
Just because we
stickers
can
for,
beat
but
up all the other podcasts doesn't mean that we should.
That's true.
true.
Yeah, you guys are a lot tougher than a lot.
Do
of
we
other
have a
podcasts.
lot? There's a lot of Seattle. Well, just real quick, have you guys seen? There's a list of Seattle podcasts.
Yeah.
No.
And
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
300, 400 long.
I want to play a game.
Wow.
How many of those podcasts do you think we can beat up at a
All
time?
of them, 0.
Like how many
100%.
12-year-olds
There's
can you
not-
take at
Are we gonna
once?
do a a podcast battle royale?
Well, at once, are you talking about,
Oh,
or
we
do
can
they need to come
out-podcast
on
them
us?
for
'Cause
sure.
I'm drunk
they don't
enough
know how
to
get
go,
cocaine.
to
I
go
do.
into this conversation.
Our marketing
right
guy
now.
would be so stoked. He's a huge wrestling fan. Any podcast.
Oh, we love wrestlers. Yeah.
yeah, he's
yeah.
huge wrestling fan. I think he went to one last night actually.
Oh,
Like the
probably.
undercover, like the underground ones.
So yeah, there's in this local area, there's Defy Tacoma. There's Lucha Volcanica. I think it's based in Tacoma.
Oh no way.
And then we've got 3-2-1 Battle.
Oh, you didn't think you were hitting on this kind of inside?
No, I want to
yeah.
know about this. Like
yeah.
this is
so
is sick.
a lot of them are up north in Seattle and stuff, but 3-2-1 Battle is amazing because they're weird wrestling. So they'll have it was founded. They would do it in bars when you weren't. wow, Brogan. They were. It was one of those things where wrestling, because of the LCB, is very controlled in terms of you can't do things in bars.
Oh.
Like you can't do wrestling in bars, and you can't necessarily do burlesque a lot of the times. You
Really?
can't do wet T-shirt contests in a bar.
Which is bullshit.
Yes.
Hey, I
think
don't
they-
think you're on, bro.
Back when
I
I was
know I
like,
take my pants off and everybody loses their mind. In a bar.
I mean, I remember when they were doing like foam parties at bars and stuff.
Well,
like
and
that.
it's like
That's different.
That was
'cause
the
you
90s,
are not
early
you are not
2000s
taking
thing.
your clothes off. You're just getting soap all over yourself.
and it's
I
the
don't know what's
it's
worse.
I
and
love to
it's
soap down. You know what I mean?
it's the undergroundness of it.
Okay.
It's like if
gotta shut
you only
this
get in
off.
trouble if they're there
Got
and they
it.
notice it, and it's that sort of thing. But if a reputation precedes itself, and a lot of these things with the wrestling, it was you can't wrestle here because it's some sort of performing in a bar issue, which is the same reason why you can't drink
Interesting.
in a strip club that I've read about and I've heard. I don't.
You
know
cannot
necessarily.
have a completely nude strip club
Yes.
and serve alcohol.
Yeah.
But who wants to go to a titty bar?
Is that
I still
rhetorical?
would go to a
Wait,
titty bar.
I mean,
Is that
that was a
rhetorical?
weird
No, no,
question.
that
Like, who
so
wants
so
to or
strip
who
clubs
doesn't?
can either be all nude
Mhm.
or topless and serve alcohol. Nobody has a topless strip club. They all just do all nude, and then you're paying $8 for a Coke.
Yep.
Oh, you mean in Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
Then
If,
you
if
go
your
down-
only option is just topless, then people will go.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying.
Of course.
So anyway, back to wrestling. It's a whole bunch of basically
Titty
just the
wrestling.
rules would make it so it was less likely to happen. And then a couple of people who originally started 3-2-1 Battle, which was Seattle semi-pro wrestling back in the day.
Okay.
They went to legislation. There's like a whole like YouTube or maybe Netflix
Wow.
movie about this. It's like Revenge of the Banana. The actual that's like the subtitle of it is the whole
Trying to
thing
get a
about
strip
it.
club.
And right, but yeah, so they basically made it now you can do these things and it's a lot more normalized.
Okay.
And so yeah, wrestling in this area has completely blown up.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that. Only reason I really know about that is because our marketing guy is like
Super
that's his,
into
that's
it,
his
yeah,
thing, yeah.
yeah.
And so it's crazy. It's cool.
And it's one of those things again, going back to an event that you're doing in the South Sound area, Seattle area, that doesn't necessarily involve just drinking.
Right.
Like there's some great bars and you can do some fun things at, but if you don't want to do that, you can, and maybe if you don't want to run or you want to do something else that is a night activity.
Nurse your fatty liver.
Yeah, you over there with your beer. Have some more beers.
I like to just get real weird and awkward.
I
Just
know,
stare at him with
I
your
know.
glasses.
I can't
He
tell
just
where he's
stared.
looking.
I know. He's probably not looking at
Did you
anyone.
say Defy Northwest?
Yes.
That's Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan Hunt.
You know,
Northwest.
Ethan HD.
HD.
Yeah.
Ethan Big D.
Yeah. He's been on a couple of times. He's a little. I shouldn't say we're little.
He's
I'm
a
gonna shut
fucking
up.
huge deal. He's a huge
yeah.
deal in the undercard world.
Yeah,
the,
the underground
the
wrestling.
amateur wrestling, not backyard.
Oh
It's
no,
amateur.
no, yeah, we would do the backyard wrestling back in the day, and that was dumb.
Was it?
That's how
Yeah.
JJ almost died.
I know,
Dang.
like it would be basically after a wrestling pay-per-view, everyone's all jacked, and they would just go out.
Go
and
grab a table and a
Yeah,
chair.
you
Yeah,
want to
just
see
beat each
something
other up
funny?
and almost
Watch
paralyze
a bunch of
someone on the
nerds
lawn.
beat up a bunch of like
Oh, they're
barely
nerds?
20-year-olds.
Oh.
Yeah. That was always a bad idea. That's not the Tacoma fun that we're looking forward
No.
to. No. we want people to check out that stuff. And
Member berries.
God, really, seriously. And check out EJ, your Instagram, Tacoma_WA.
Yep.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Please keep putting out that fun content. We love seeing all of that. And showing that Tacoma can be weird, but also fun and just beautiful as well.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's so much good stuff here, and I just want to continue to put that at the forefront.
Right on, man. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, appreciate all of that. And we appreciate everyone listening. If you guys want to send us an email, let us know about stuff that is going on. Maybe the people that you think would be awesome to be on the show, or just throwing out there. info@gritcitypodcast.com.
Yes.
If you like what we do and you like to maybe support us, Grit City, the Patreon.
Hey, if we hit $1,000 in Patreon money, I'll let one lucky listener pick the weird item I'm going to cook. It has to be edible, and serve it to
Fucking
these
weird.
guys.
Oh, no.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not eating just
Yeah, you
something
are.
because
Yeah, you
no, I don't think that's gonna happen. Look
This
at
gets
Jeff. He's like, fuck that.
Yeah, no, you know why he said fuck that? Because he's about to drop $1,000 to watch you guys eat a fucking
Yeah.
donkey dick.
Whatever.
Wow.
He's involved. Like, he's not gonna eat some.
No, he's
donkey
gonna
dick.
get a nibble. Everybody
Yeah.
gets a nibble.
Oh,
I won't be here for that one.
Yeah, EJ, we'll make sure that you're not a guest on that one. It'll probably be one of those ones back at the studio.
Keep
where
an
it's
eye
just
out for
us.
the Tacoma drinks stickers.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Let
just
me know.
walk around Fife and just start slapping them on things.
And
We're
if
gonna be the new form of passive aggressive millennial tagger. We're just gonna go around with stickers.
Oh, that's
I like
that's
it.
been around for many years.
Yeah, but
bringing
I'm
it back,
Bringing it back.
bringing it back.
You know
with
what else I'm
Tacoma
bringing
Stinks.
back?
What?
The twomp.
The
Oh,
twomp.
I'm gonna refer to a 20
know
bag
who-
of
I-
weed.
He laughed. He
I know
knew
exactly
this
what
was.
he's talking
Yeah,
about.
because you saw that post today
Bradley.
too. Yep.
You and Bradley.
No, I saw that today, and he's like, "Man, I haven't bought weed in so long. I used to call it a twomp." I'm like,
A
a twomp, a 20 bag of weed, a twomp.
Never.
I gotta
ever,
get that
ever,
twomp.
ever.
It's like from
Did you
15,
ever
20
call it a twomp?
Yeah, I fucking
No,
called it
well-
a twomp.
Did you?
Yes,
I never
did.
smoked a whole lot of weed. I maybe smoked
didn't
like 5
either.
times in my life.
That I heard that earlier when we were talking to some graffiti guys. They were like, "Yeah, he's borderline." So
I try to
just
stay
teasing,
out of
man.
trouble, and so
obviously you have a job and you work, so
Yeah.
and you do things.
Hey, I
so-
know at least one business can be buying some die cut stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
that's
people
the
want to
thing.
get their stickers again,
Maybe
die-
Yeah,
even-
throw out
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
all your love. Right
yeah,
now.
our URL is diecutstickers.com, or you can follow us on Instagram, diecutstickers.com.
Perfect.
Email them, tell me you heard about it on the Gritzy podcast.
Yeah.
Actually,
We'll give you a shout out for
yeah,
buying stickers.
we'll make a custom code. We'll do 15% off. We'll do
What?
Yeah, if you
Nice.
insert Grit City into
Yeah.
our online
All
store,
right,
15% off.
we're gonna really put that out there.
Yeah, I better hit up Keith on my way home.
All right, yeah, make sure
well,
that's
it's
legitimate.
legitimate right now for a couple of weeks. You're gonna be
Because
all right.
like well, honestly, we've had businesses that in the past
our
that have
first
said,
sponsor
"Oh, let's
was
do this."
Uber until people stopped using Uber codes.
Right. But no, we've had other people in the
We
past
made
that have been like,
hundreds of
"Oh,
dollars.
on a come through on in May or whatever, right?" And it just doesn't work. But then other times we're like, "Oh, shoot them this code."
Yeah.
and it overwhelms people sometimes. So
Cool. Well, we're ready for either one.
okay, good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Well, I know I need.
We have
some
at least
stickers.
12 listeners. At
That's
least
per-
12.
At least 12.
Cool.
I heard 12. 12 in Russia for sure.
And we ship to Russia. Just in case.
Nice.
Good, dude.
Perfect.
I mean, we don't like to.
Oh shit! Speaking of Russia,
what?
did you know
No.
that the Ukraine now is the largest exporter of craft, like handmade wooden goods in the world?
How
Had no
did you
clue.
fucking know
Because
that?
I am part of an industry that requires weird wooden shit, but I've got customers buying wooden mugs, dice trays, fucking knives. Apparently, Ukrainian
a wooden
metal.
knife?
No, the fucking handles are wood.
Oh, okay.
But I
you
mean,
know,
they
a wood
forged the
knife
metal.
would get you through all the metal detectors. Just throwing that out
But
there.
It's true.
no shit. Like with all this attention, like the economy of the Ukraine is being buffed by people selling their online goods, like
Interesting.
handmade wooden shit.
Huh.
Yeah, for
That
like
makes sense,
really,
though.
and it's not even cheap.
Think about Etsy. Etsy's a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's
Of course.
massive.
Yeah, right.
It's massive.
God damn.
Do you guys do things like
Yeah, do you use
random,
Etsy?
like Etsy? Like somebody sends me a sticker, we'll do it.
No, my wife. She kind
He's
of
all,
like
no, but fuck my
We
wife's
don't-
got an
but
Etsy
my
store.
wife.
So let's step over this. It
So,
matters.
No, we're very much like business to business or business to entrepreneur, business to consumer. Like
It's funny because Justin's finger is hovering over the button. He's like, I just want to shut off, but no.
Hey, just
no,
whatever you
no.
guys are ready.
No,
No,
do
but
it.
my wife makes like these cool custom signs, so she like will create stencils and put them on wood, do like the whole wooden frame and sell them. And she has or had an Etsy account. I actually don't remember.
Does
but
she still have one? You can give
yeah,
her a shout out to
a
it.
little sign shop on Instagram. That's where she's doing it.
Perfect.
She's killing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Love all of that. Seriously, thank you so much for being on
Thanks
here.
for having me.
Yeah,
This is great.
no, yeah, and again,
Justin's old poopy pants.
Such a he's
so grumpy.
man. It's like we got the
Patreon.com/Grit City
he keeps us-
Podcast.
keets us in line, right?
Trying to.
Well,
God
at least
damn it.
So
somebody
you two are
does.
the troublemakers.
Are we?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not here half the time.
Yeah.
So it's
and it
mostly
tells.
me. It's
Okay.
mostly me just drunk talking
That's
shit.
perfect.
And Justin's like, "Come on,
It's
Scott,
right.
shut up."
These
And then-
bastards motivated me
Jeff.
by getting
Ask
a
Scott
fucking
about how
picture
smart
in a magazine
octopuses
without me
are.
in it, so I have to
Dude,
be here more.
octopuses are so smart.
Octopi.
They are.
Octopi. Well, I'm just talking about one.
Octopussy is a character in a fucking movie, a James Bond
So
movie.
they will trick shrimp into swimming backwards because shrimp swim backwards.
I
They'll
know
re-
now.
They'll reach around them. Well, you've seen them.
Yeah,
in
I didn't
stores.
realize they were backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
How do reach arounds work?
Yeah. you got me.
Because I got the hand motion.
Yes. So octopus will reach around and they'll tickle shrimp's face, so they'll swim backwards right into their
No
mouth.
way.
Yeah, they're that fucking smart.
Damn.
Think about that.
And
for a
that's
while.
why we've got octopus tentacles on our logos.
Yeah. Right here.
Well,
Yeah,
I
that
mean-
and we like to grab you and eat you.
Whoa.
You do.
Sometimes we like to reach around.
Yeah, and then reach around and tickle faces.
We lured you with tacos, and now you're fucked. Now you're part of the collective.
Hey, your
Yeah.
tacos are good.
Yeah.
We're not bad.
You
Yeah,
have
we're
pretty
bad.
good tacos there, Brogan.
Well,
I like
guess
them.
what I'll do next time?
What? More tacos?
I don't know. I'll smoke something next time.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bring brisket and we'll just because this is way more work than I really.
I smoked something before I got here.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was way more work than I wanted to do. Next time I'll just pre-prepare it all when I'm.
But it was
smoking
cool
shit.
that it's here, right?
Well, no, and I'll do this again.
How nice was this?
Yeah.
Pretty great.
This was a great setup that we managed to do
Yeah,
here
we need to
today.
have a cook cam,
Is
We're
this not your
talking
normal
about
setup?
We just start usually
and we'll publish
for the
the
Union Club.
recipe along with it.
For the Union Club, we would usually use the event space downstairs. And then one time there was something going on, so we went up here and used this,
This
and
is
we
awesome.
realized this is way cooler.
Man, you got the view.
We got
you
the view,
kitchen.
we got the kitchen, and we got the little Inspire sign right there.
Well,
So it
I know
makes
it's
us feel
cool
good.
for like a guest because
The types of conversation that can just be sparked by what we can see. Like, I had tacos, and right out that window you can see Red Star Taco.
Oh.
If you've not been to Red Star,
I
Red
haven't
Star
yet.
Taco.
fucking delicious.
Dude,
Is
I've
it?
heard it's pretty
Talking
good.
to your microphone.
I'm trying to fucking point, bitch.
Yeah.
No, it
He's
right out
having
that
an
window.
actual conversation.
Yeah, fucking Red Star Taco.
Yeah, that's
right up there.
fairly new.
Yeah,
Right? I haven't
Well,
been
they
there
have
yet.
one other location in
So,
Seattle.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
been
but
there.
then now when
They moved into the graveyard
See,
that is the
people are
old Maxwell's. But,
Oh.
yeah, that's their problem. Like, there's something about that building. I'm convinced.
What was before Maxwell's?
It's been Maxwell's, and then it was.
It was something different, or before or after. But yeah, there has been a lot of changes.
Yeah,
in
there
that
was
spot.
a lot
on
of
the
stuff-
other side is just is residential, right?
Well, I don't
It's
know. It's just right out there. Look,
Apartments and stuff, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem. Is they're the
Well,
very
this little
last one on
area
the end.
is like the last bastion of hope because I know
Yeah.
Stink has been for sale. I don't know if it's finally
Dude,
sold.
in the
Oh, the
next
cheese
10
place?
years.
yeah,
Yeah, in the next 5 to 10 years, with McMinimans coming in and the office.
fuck in the next 5 years, in the next fucking 2 years.
Yeah, but
I'm
I'm just
so
yeah.
I
excited.
mean, just
for
look up on
McMinimans.
6th.
It's
The
gonna
old
get so dumb,
sushi
right?
spot is now going to be like condos, and Proctor
Sushi
District's
spot, which
completely
sushi-
changed.
Oh yeah. With
Which
the
sushi spot?
the old trappers.
The old Trappers on
The old
6th and,
Trappers is going to be
Union.
a multi-use. They're going to have Trappers is going to go back into there, but they're going to do condos and they're
Well,
going to kind of
that's good.
Seattle-fy it a
just
little
like
bit.
just like Proctor.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
shit, I went out to University
Start buying
Place
that real
yesterday
estate.
for the first time. in
Oh
like
man,
4
or by
years.
Whole Foods.
Holy shit! Well,
I'm-
where we did Taekwondo,
Yeah.
is where the fucking Whole Foods is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
that you pointed and said where we did
Taek-
Taekwondo.
Sounds like Step Brothers movie.
No, we did. No.
How
we-
long ago was that?
We've been
That had to be
friends for
20
like
years.
A
I've been
long
friends for
time.
26
Okay.
years.
Yeah, we've been friends for literally a quarter of a decade.
That's dope.
Before we
quarter
were
of a
Hold on,
century.
quarter of a decade.
Quarter
Sorry,
of a
yeah,
century.
you're right. Quarter of a century. I meant to say that.
Yeah.
But no, before we were friends, we went to the same Taekwondo place. Like
No
he
way.
was that fat fuck right there was a black
Is
belt.
that why you want to beat everyone up?
Yeah.
I don't want to beat anybody up.
Oh, he noticed, and it's only his first time on the
Who
show.
did I want to beat up?
Every other podcaster in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
area.
That's
They
true.
started it.
I did not. I just
You
said there was a
called
big
them out.
list. That's all.
And I'm just saying that we
That we
went.
could kick their ass.
We could kick their ass. I stand behind that.
He knows
Unless
Taekwondo.
Black belt in Taekwondo.
That's awesome.
Ivan Salivary starts a podcast, then
There
he
might
wins.
be, dude,
he wins.
honestly. Up here
Like,
is
we
some-
just get the
there's
fuck
some-
out of that guy's way.
There's some legitimate UFC fighters up here. So
Yeah,
So we should
well,
probably
it's-
not deal with that.
no.
Well, they don't count.
Okay. Oh, those ones don't count. The ones
Okay.
that can
No
beat up us
athletic
don't count.
Fair enough.
podcast.
No
can be
judging
part
here.
of this.
We can beat up all the nerds.
I want to fight the
There you
women
go.
and the cripples. And
And you know what? That's how we're gonna end this podcast. Right there with you just saying
Oh my
that.
God.
I'm fine. It's International Women's Weekend. Crippled women, bring 'em.
Seriously, Ejay, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you guys.